have on April 1, $285,000. I also met with a collection agency that's rated A1. Henry Harvey was with me. He agreed that it's a good company. I didn't say hire them. I said, let's have the board meet with them and make a determination, because 3 minutes are up?
Still got 12 seconds, go ahead.
Okay, so in closing, watch my posting for a town hall meeting. Everyone is welcome. We will shut down no one. We will answer all questions. Anyone who wants to ask me anything after the meeting, be my guest.
Thank you, Stuart. Okay, Doug Wolf.
I have a
3 minutes.
okay. I have a question for Mr. Kaufman.
This is not a question. We don't answer.
Oh, okay. All right. That's why I was asking.
We don't answer.
Okay. What's that? Okay. Basically, I was just wondering. The Bordeaux building has leaks. Actually, forgetting the Bordeaux building, I got a kind of sad email from Jane, who used to be on the board, a few weeks back, crying to me about the fact that she has mold in her building. And I found it a little ironic that we have not put any efforts into fixing her building whatsoever, but yet we've put efforts into buying apartments with money that we don't have. And if I were Jane, I would be a little bit upset the fact that her doctor said she's sick in part because of the mold that we're not doing anything about fixing, and yet we're buying apartments that we don't have money for. So I just find that a little bit strange and sad, and you know, she doesn't have that strong personality, but she wrote me that email just to bring that forth at the meeting. So I just find that a little weird, and I wish that Samuels would address that, because I find that a little bit distressing. The fact that we're buying apartments with money we don't have when someone is sick and in the hospital because of mold. So that's all I wanted to say. Well, and furthermore, the fact that he's removing me from the board, I find that a little interesting. As you all know, I don't have, I don't have a temper, obviously, despite my genetic makeup. I don't have a temper. I've never said anything inflammatory or hyperbolic. My emails are respectful. They're all documented. And if anything, I try to keep these two nut jobs at bay. So the fact is, they used to be good friends. And the moment that Scott became president, they became enemies. And the reason is because he had an agenda. My father is not a sheep and didn't go along. Before he had power, he was his friend, and that was that. Now he wants to remove me because I am not a rubber stamp, unlike the majority, not the entire board, but the majority of the board. Now, I've done nothing to warrant a removal. He doesn't need cause, but obviously he's very afraid of me, which I understand, because I'm not in line with him on everything. Maybe some things I am, but the fact that he's going to remove me is a show of character. He's going to remove someone because he doesn't agree with them. I've challenged him, but I've challenged him respectfully. That's what a democracy is about. You challenge. And he doesn't want challenge. He wants a board that's going to agree with him on everything, so he has absolute power. And this is who's in charge, someone who craves absolute power to redeem himself for the fact that he was not the president the last 10 years. And amen to that, you know? So this is your president, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
Marcy. Come on, Marcy, where are you?
I'm hiding.
Go on.
Okay.
Here you go. 3 minutes, Marcy.
You got it. I had gone into the office and I spoke to Henry about the elevator that has not had the proper permit in it for a number of years. I spoke to you outside.
Yes.
I told you also about the button on the elevator that does not work properly, and that's already 2 weeks. All right, that's number one. Number two, if you walk around this area, it is absolutely disgusting to see the leaves all around the place and not being shoveled up. Why? It looks disgraceful. We look like we live in a horrible area. You walk. No, they're not around my area. Yeah, well, you walk around the Heidelberg, it is terrible. It is all over the place. The people's cars are just flooded with these leaves. Clean this up. Go around and check and see what's going on. Well, if you did, you would see that. You don't have to answer me. Okay. Let me ask you something. When Jerry wanted to buy apartments, he was told he could not get any investors in here to buy apartments. Does that mean now that you may be changing the bylaws or whatever, that we can get investors in here to buy the
Put his money
apartments?
where his mouth is, go for it.
Well, when he wanted to do it, Scott stopped it. Scott said there was no investors to come in here. So now, perhaps he'll be interested in doing it.
Investors, if you live here or not.
Well, I'm talking about different investors, people that are not living
I don't
here.
have anything against anybody owning 100 apartments as long as they pay.
No, and I'm sure that Jerry, if he gets anybody, he would have them pay.
I don't have any problem with Jerry owning as many as he wants, I've told him many times.
Okay, thank you, Marcy. Okay, now, we're starting our meeting a little bit late today at 8:23.
Can I say something? I came late and I didn't write my name down. Can I just make a statement? Okay. I bought my unit when I was, can I say something or no?
Yeah,
Really?
come on.
All right. I just want to say in regards to raising the income situation. I bought my unit when I was 20 years old. I'm turning 30 this year. I've seen this neighborhood deteriorate in the last 10 years. I'm not saying it has anything to do with religion, race, or gender, but raise it. Raise it high, because I've got neighbors that pee in front of the building. They don't even go upstairs and go to the bathroom anymore. We've got a neighbor in the Marseille that likes to punch his girlfriend in the face. So the neighborhood is turning trashy. Raise it and raise it high. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Muriel Ash, what? Present.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
Mark Jones,
Here.
Ed Kaufman,
Here.
Doug Myers, Scott Samuels,
Here.
Rochelle Tersini,
Here.
Doug Wolf,
Here.
Stuart Wolf,
Here.
Bill Corn.
Okay, we have a quorum. Scott, she's late, but she's entitled to speak on good and welfare. Have we signed her in?
Over.
Is it okay? Any objection?
I have no objection.
Come on.
I know, I'm gonna get you.
Okay, first speak.
It'll take a second.
Go ahead.
I paid my maintenance.
A little louder, hon, I'm a little hard of hearing.
I paid my maintenance and my assessment by check. I have never, in the 20 years, never been late, never.
Okay.
But it didn't, I went to the office a long time ago, but it didn't come through in the bank. Why?
What didn't come through with the bank?
My check.
The check hasn't cleared?
Yeah.
We just went through a transition from KW Management to a financial management company. All the records are not in our possession yet. And this process of the checks is in the hands for the less than 2 weeks with the new company. And we're right on top of it. The same thing happened with me. I'm on auto pay. It wasn't cleared. But it will catch up in the next few days. There'll be no late charges for anybody. But this is like somebody moving to a new home and getting started. I doubt that we will have a substantive financial report today because we're having some difficulty getting some funds away from KW, and we're in the process of doing that. So we're gonna probably withhold. It'll be up to the treasurer and assistant treasurer to tell us what they want to do about this finances. But I would suggest we don't have any financial report tonight. Bonnie, you want to come up?
Bonnie, 3 minutes. Okay?
My question is that every 90 days, the sales and lease committee will be changed. If the 90 days are up, who will be the next 3 people on the sales and lease committee?
Well, we don't answer questions on good and welfare. You can talk anything you want, but just say whatever you want for 3 minutes.
That's what I...
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Please, we're going on with the meeting. You're gonna wait and you're gonna speak on any agenda item one time. No back and forth questions. Make up your mind. That's it. The minutes of...
We'll now address agenda item number 2.
which is the waiving and approval of the minutes of prior meetings, March 18, 2010 and March 26, 2010. I'll now take a motion to waive the reading of and the approval of the prior minutes. Will someone make a motion?
I move to waive the reading of and approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of 3/18/2010 and the special board meeting of 3/26/2010.
Any second?
I second the motion.
I do not want them waived because there's information in there that I'd like to hear firsthand.
We'll take a vote on the board. If they want to waive, if they want to read the minutes,
Then I'd like to have a copy of it if I'm
you
voting.
can have a copy of it. And we want to get on with this meeting. I'm going to poll the board. Would you poll the board to see if we should waive or read the minutes, which will take another 10 or 15 minutes to do?
Muriel Ash,
I waive it.
Doug Myers, Nick Bondar,
Yes.
Doug Wolf,
No.
Stuart Wolf,
No.
Mark Jones,
Yes.
Michelle Trucini,
Yes.
Ed Kaufman,
Yes.
Scott Samuels.
Yes, okay.
Motion carries.
The motion to waive the minutes has been approved. It's 7-2 with Doug and Stuart Wolf voting no. Okay, I will now take a motion, agenda item number 3, I'll now take a motion to restate and implement the 1995 rules and regulations regarding board meetings. Who's going to make the motion? Anyone there?
I'll make the motion.
95
Well,
rules
make the motion.
regarding board meetings.
Read the motion.
Okay, I make a motion to reinstate and implement the 1995 rules and regulations for board meetings.
All right, I'll take a
Second.
second by Ed Kaufman. Okay. You don't want to talk on this issue of the rules and regulations from 1995 of how we're going to run board meetings? Anyone want to make a comment? Go ahead, Marcy.
Yeah, well, can you read exactly what the rules are going to be?
I beg your pardon?
Was this, when you were president, was this rules and regulations in 1995 when you were president?
It was in effect when I was president.
Okay,
Yes.
tell me what you want to.
No, please. You make your statement. I don't have to answer you. Make a statement, Mark.
Wait a second, what are the rules going to be?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to answer you. This is not a question and answer
Wait a
session.
second, good and welfare, you're supposed to answer
No,
questions.
you're not going to get any answers anymore.
You just
I'm
asked.
telling you right now, this is not a question and answer
So you
session.
just make a statement.
That's what the law requires. You can make a statement for 3 minutes.
So in other words, you're not going to tell us what the rules are going to be.
We are not going to answer questions. This is not a question and answer forum.
When are we going to know what these rules are going to be?
You will find out. That's all.
When you have another meeting?
Okay, you're finished. We'll go on to the next.
Wait a second.
Please sit down. You want to talk? You go ahead and talk.
She wants to go to
The
jail.
clock is running.
You cannot get the policeman because I want to talk.
Go ahead, you got 3 minutes.
Okay, so you're telling me that you're going to implement the rules again that you had prior when you were president. Okay, that's what you're going to do, and nobody knows what those rules are. All these people here do not know what they are. Why can't we find out
Did you
what
read
they
the
are?
bulletin board?
No, I wasn't.
Well, go out there and read them.
Oh, I have to go out there and read them.
Yes, because it's on the
They're the
bulletin
rules
board.
are
It's
out
in there.
It's the long thing. They've been
Go ahead,
posted.
go read them.
It's been posted in the
Right
building.
out there.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will read them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any board discussion?
Thank you, Kim.
Any board discussion? Anyone wants to say something on the board about the restating? Call the roll, please.
Muriel Ash,
Read them in,
Yes.
Marcy.
Doug Myers,
Please, let's be quiet out there.
Nick Bondar,
Yes.
Doug Wolf, Stuart Wolf,
No.
No, I won't.
Mark Jones,
Yes.
Michelle Trucini,
Yes.
Ed Kaufman, Scott Samuels.
Yes. The motion was carried 7-2. Okay. Agenda item number 4. Removal of board member Doug Wolf from the International Village Board of Directors. I will now take a motion to remove Doug Wolf from the Board of Directors. Who makes the motion?
I make a motion for removal of board member Doug Wolf from the International Village Board of Directors.
Any second?
As per the Florida statutes, chapter 617.0808.
And who seconds?
I second the motion.
Michelle Tassini. Okay. The unit owners can talk on this issue now for up to 3 minutes. You can make a statement on this issue. Go ahead.
I'm gonna make the same statement. It's hard for me to stand up.
I can't hear you.
Why? You can't just tell me we just want.
Just make a statement. We're not going to answer why, because we're doing it without cause. Every board member probably has his own reason, so there's not going to be an answer to a why. That's it. Don't waste your time.
That's fair.
Without cause is the privilege, correct?
No.
There's no. We're not addressing that.
That's not fair.
Oh, it isn't? Okay. Say whatever you want. You got 3 minutes. Okay, Val is finished. Val Klepper is finished. Any other unit owner? No? Okay, open the board discussion. Stuart Wolf wants to speak first for 3 minutes.
All right. Yesterday, I was accompanied by Joe Fredericks, and we went to the Ombudsman for approximately an hour to go over the legality of this. They told us quite clearly that there is no legal reason to remove him. You, Mr. Samuels, refused to allow Dove's lawyer to defend his position, so therefore, we are now in a communist dictatorial regime. The Ombudsman told me to tell Dove, because Dove was working and he could not attend the meeting, that if he is removed, to fill out a claim against the village, which will go to Jacksonville, and they will analyze it. They will then make a decision. They will write to the board, and if what they said is correct, the village will have to remove whoever takes Dove's place, put him back, and the village will be severely fined. Robert Kay was here as an attorney who can offer nothing but an opinion. You, as a dictator, refused to allow Dove, and he spent a lot of money to bring a lawyer here to defend this position. So I want you to explain to the unit owners how you could sit there, you all, and take someone off the board without a legal defense, bringing in Robert Kay. And as a board member, I am going to publish exactly how much it costs to have Robert Kay here, who is a good friend of Mr. Samuels, who Mr. Samuels gave his son $500 as a bar mitzvah gift. Is that not a correct statement, Mr. Samuels?
Okay. Any other conversation? Okay, any other board members? Any other board members want to say anything? Okay, call the roll, please. Call the roll, please, on the removal of Mr. Dove Wolf from the board. Rather, I'm sorry, I will now take a... Oh, we took a motion. Call the roll. I'm sorry, get me mixed up.
Item number 4, Muriel Ash. Yes. Doug Myers.
Yes.
Nicholas Bondar.
Yes.
Doug Wolf.
No.
Stuart Wolf.
No.
Mark Jones.
Yes.
Michelle Tracini.
Yes.
Ed Kaufman.
Yes.
Scott Samuels.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The motion is carried. Thank you, Dove. Go sit down somewhere else, please.
It's not over yet, Scott. Remember what I said.
That's fine.
Okay. Agenda item number 5. Fill the vacancy on the Board of Directors. I will now take a motion for an appointment to the board to fill a seat vacated by Doug Wolf for the remainder of his 1-year term. Who will make the motion? Go ahead.
I would like to nominate Terry Tracini.
Not nominate, motion to appoint.
Motion to appoint Terry Duchesne to the seat vacated by Doug Wolf for the remainder of a 1-year term.
Okay, who seconds that motion?
I second the motion.
Doug seconds.
Who?
Doug Meyer seconds.
I didn't get that. Doug Myers, okay.
Somebody's husband.
Okay. Okay. Unit owner speak, 3 minutes. Anybody? Go ahead.
I was under the assumption that 2 people from the same apartment condo cannot run and be on the board, only one person.
Yeah,
Only one person from a condo could be on the board, not 2. Otherwise, I would have been running as well. So though I like you, Terry, I don't think that you're allowed to do that because Michelle is on the board.
That's correct. That's correct.
That we should nominate somebody else.
Who taught you that?
What?
Who taught you that rule?
Scott told me that.
Thank you. And you guys were good friends. Vacation in Vegas.
Is that
Who taught
true?
you that rule?
Yeah, you taught us that.
How was I able to get on the board, Scott? Remember? You taught me that.
I am just going to make a simple statement that we have, and I'm not going to say more, we have evidence to the contrary, that the board has evidence to the contrary, and that is the end of the issue. I don't have to,
I'm allowed to speak.
we have evidence to the contrary.
What is the evidence? What is the evidence? What kind of statement is that?
Okay, any other unit owners? That's it? Okay, any board discussion?
What is the evidence?
Samuels taught me a lot of what I know about 718 and the rules. He specifically came to my house and we had to remove Dove's ownership of the unit that I live in so that he could run for the board because he owns his own unit. So now he's saying that that rule doesn't apply. Well, I just want it clear, and I don't want to be held responsible, that when we file a complaint with Tallahassee and there's a fine, as Mr. Edmonds said, that I warned the board in advance. And I'm going to quote Mr. Samuels. He's the one that gave me the information, and if you people would look in your docs, you will find that I am correct.
Any other, may I respond to that? Okay. I'm very well aware of the state law and the rule, and I did help Dove to do that, and I know the rule. And Mr. Tassini is not in violation, and we have the evidence.
Why did
That's
you
all.
help me do it if it
That's
was
it.
a moot point?
My personal opinion on it, and I don't know you, Terry, forgive me, is the same reason I was uncomfortable with Dove and Stu being on the board. 2 family members that were going to have the same vote every time. You guys live together, you're married. I don't feel comfortable
Doug to be on the board.
having both of you on the board because I feel like it's one
So
vote.
you're a hypocrite, Mark.
So
Mark, you just contradicted yourself. You voted for Doug, and he's in the same family as Edwin. Now you're saying you're concerned about me and my
They're husband and wife. He's not even blood related to him.
family.
Not direct family.
So they're not going to be in line with one another?
Let me just say something. I have legitimate concerns that bother me. Okay?
Mark, you sound like a used car salesman.
One thing, you want to,
talking to
and I'm
me.
glad these tapes are running, because one thing that really bothered me just now is because I didn't vote not to put you off. You just threatened my job. You said you were going to call my employer.
I never said
You just did that to me.
I never said
and you
that.
just told, he just did that to me just now as you walked off. Enjoy the unemployment.
I never said
He's
that.
going to call my employer. And I think that's